Oh, well, hello, everybody. It is 420.
It's
Big,
only
big
four
day.
o'clock.
Well, it's technically 420.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Today.
But in 20 minutes, it'll be 4:20.
It will be 420
Yes,
on
on 4:20.
420.
Yes, perfect.
So some of you may be celebrating. So we put together something special for today, a very special guest. We are going to meet her in just a moment. Okay, our special guest today is Nancy Birnbaum. As a super connector in the cannabis industry, Nancy continues to help grow all types of canna companies by providing introductions to strategic partners, precious resources, promotion, events, media buys, marketing and PR, and funding. Welcome to Nancy. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Sue. It's really fun to be here. Thank you.
Hey,
It's
we're
isn't
so
it fun to
excited.
be?
We want to keep you around as long as we can today, just FYI.
Exactly. Because, you're a very special guest on a very special day. It is 420. As
Yes.
we mentioned, you have, deep knowledge within the cannabis industry. And so, we like to talk about events. So we're kind of wondering what's happening in the cannabis industry from an events standpoint right now.
Well, things are coming back slowly. The live events, I don't think we're going to really start seeing them until maybe late summer or, towards the end of the summer, definitely the fall. And I think this winter we'll be seeing some of the larger events that we love, like the Emerald Cup and things like that, come back. Personally, I'm right now talking to venues to start putting together dates so that I can have our Sensi nights. As the publisher of Sensi, I create events both for the magazine as well locally here in NorCal, as well as sponsor other events that are happening in our network here.
And I'm
Awesome. So
I'm
now,
curious.
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask, I mean, with that transition, because you go back 6 months, 9 months ago, it was pretty simple. You knew as an event planner, organizer, that the event had to be virtual. So everything was going to be virtual, very simple. As we're starting the transition into that gray area of things are opening up, but we're not sure how they're going to open up, how long they're going to stay open. How do you accommodate for that as an event planner? I know you're putting events on the calendar, but is there like a backup plan if things change?
Yeah, I think that I'm being hopeful that looking at how the vaccinations are going, and that it's certainly here in Northern California, it seems to be we're on track to get people vaccinated by May or June. It's kind of been back and forth on a federal level as well. That our president has said we hope to get everybody vaccinated by May, and then things happen, problems happen, so maybe by June. So I'm looking at July, to have one of the first live outdoor B2B events. And then in November, in time for our anniversary celebration, I want to have one of our first B2C events, where we can invite the community to come in and party with us. So, some of those things you just can't do virtually. That's one of them,
Yeah.
where you have a vendor show and all kinds of great music and stuff. It's hard to do that virtually. But some groups have put together some amazing virtual events. And I think going forward, even now that, we're looking at live events again, that I think the hybrid option where you have a live event but also stream it will be really important going forward because especially if things shut down again, then you at least have a date set that you can do a
Yeah.
virtual event.
Right.
If you're able to have a live event too, awesome. The lucky people that get those first tickets, they'll be
Right.
able to experience it live.
All right.
So you mentioned the Emerald Cup. It's one of the big events here in Santa Rosa in Northern California. So couldn't have it last year. So what's the news for this year?
Well, they're really hoping that they're going to be able to bring it back this December. Now, just this past week, they did their virtual announcements of the winners for 2021, which was really a fun live streamed event took place in LA, but they streamed it on their new platform, Social Club TV. It was a great event with an
Cool.
amazing assortment of judges. Someday I hope I get to be a judge. Everybody hear that, right? But
You're putting it out to the universe.
There you go.
right, exactly, manifesting it. Uh, but they did announce the all the great winners, amazing group of winners from this past for this year, and then in December they're hopefully coming back to a live event at the fairgrounds, maybe with half the capacity. I guess we'll have to
Mm.
wait and see on that. But hopefully, even if it's just half the capacity, maybe 20,000, that if you do want to be involved in that event, I would suggest you get on their newsletter right away so that you know right away when the tickets go on sale because they will go fast.
All right.
They're going to
And
be, that's going to be a hot ticket.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I would
always is.
imagine that's one of those events that people would usually would travel a great distance to attend. Those people that were
Right.
really interested. It'll be interesting to see how things play out, assuming they do a hybrid event where there is a recorded or a live version that's being streamed. If that affects the audience, instead of having
Mm.
40,000, is there a potential of having 50 or 60,000 because you're not restricted to flying to Santa Rosa, finding a hotel, and all the things that you would normally do
Right.
during a live event?
Right, right. I would think that they would stick with their new platform, Social Club TV, and have it streamed as well.
Okay.
That way, more people can enjoy it. Yep.
Yeah. Now you mentioned before we were chatting about a it was a business to business event that you did that was virtual with a kind of an interesting platform. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I would say it was the top of my list. I attended a lot of virtual events this year. And I, of course, have done a lot of them for Sensi with our Sensi Connects virtual events. But I would have to say that the top awards go to the Emerge conference, the Emerge Cannabis Conference and Expo. They started in late last year, in the fall, I think, of last year, and I was fortunate enough to come on to try to help them bring on speakers and panelists for the conference part, and some
Cool.
sponsors for the expo. It's the gamification of the Cannabis Expo, and it basically is. An incredible platform where you get to build an avatar and get creative, and then put that you as your avatar. You can walk around the expo space and visit booths and talk to people and exchange cards with them, put all your profile information in there. It really was an amazing platform, and they're doing a quarterly expo like that. And then the other great thing is that you can go back to it anytime you want, review any of the speakers or
Oh,
Mm.
the panels. So it's not just a
interesting.
1 day thing like so many of the conferences we go to. If you miss, because they have two up against each other
Right.
that you really want to hear, and you can't be in two places at once unless you're doing a virtual
Exactly.
event, then you can.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's another great thing about it. That information is available, and the whole conference is available, including the expo floor, for 90 days after the event, and that makes it so much better.
Wow.
So yeah, the Emerge conference. If you go to emergecana.com, you can find out when the next one is. That's an incredible platform. I loved it.
Yeah, I think especially for your particular industry, the cannabis industry, the education piece, I think is big, and virtual kind of really lends itself to that, and even those hybrid events where you've got some in person, some on the virtual platforms. But yeah, just educating people about cannabis in general.
Right,
I mean, from a
right.
from a consumer standpoint, not, I know there's the business to business. That's a kind of a different conversation. But educating the public about cannabis. And so that's one thing I wanted to ask you was what's the what's the thing that's the big myth that you would like to debunk for us about surrounding cannabis?
Yeah, it's all about education, and we're still trying to debunk or, in whatever way we can, demystify the plan. It's a healing plan. It's been around for thousands of years, and before the government decided that it was, number one arch enemy. Uh, it provided a lot of relief for people, and it was always, we have an endocannabinoid system. It's part of who we are, and so it's natural for us to have this in our systems. And before 1937, it was in our milk because cows ate it.
Mm.
It was in our meat.
Mm.
We always had it in our systems, and I think as a healing plant, it has a lot to offer. And so, yeah, I think we just have to dispel that stigma that's been around for too long. And the education helps, of course. And before I forget, since it's we're coming up on 420 soon, we have a giveaway. I wanted to make sure you know
Okay.
about. We're giving away for at 420. We're picking the winner for a 2 night stay at the Flamingo Resort and a tour with Happy Traveler Weed Tours here in Sonoma County. So if you not that you want to break off now because we're not done yet, but as soon as we're done, you
You can
want to
open up another
head over
browser
to
window if you
Yeah.
want to.
yes, or open up another browser window and go to sensymag.com/NorCal and look for the Bud and Breakfast giveaway and sign up.
Love
And
it.
good luck. I hope you win.
Oh, that's
Oh, cool.
awesome. I love that. So, within the industry, I know a lot of times they're coming up with these new products. Like, what is the new thing? Like, what's trending right now in cannabis products?
I'd have to say the big trend right now is in infused or edible beverages.
Mm,
Beverages are just booming right now. You go to any of our dispensaries and you'll see probably between 6 to 8 different kinds of beverages that
wow.
cover the gambit from seltzers, that are really nice with infused obviously with THC. Some of them have Delta 8, which is a different cannabinoid that can help you in relaxing your body, not just affect your head,
Mm,
and everything from infused wine, like House of Saka
mm.
has a beautiful pink wine bottle you'll see with a beautifully done non-alcoholic wine that's infused instead with THC, so it's much better for you. And then you can be Cali sober and have a glass of wine infused with THC instead of alcohol with your friends.
So that's the
Very
new
fun.
thing. Cali sober
Cali
is the new
sober.
Cali
term.
sober. That's a
Are
new term.
are sunglasses required?
No, well, yeah, if your future looks bright, you might want to have shades.
Ah, there you go.
Like that. Nice reframe.
Very nice, very nice. Well, let's see. Did we miss anything? Is there anything that we need to know about? I think you had mentioned some. We were chatting before some specials that were going on today.
Yeah, it's 420, right? So a lot of our local dispensaries have an incredible sales today. One of my favorites, in fact, I was just there earlier, is Soulful in Sebastopol. They do a great goodie bag. So if you spend a certain level, you get all kinds of things to try, which I think is always a
Nice.
great way to get introduced to new products that you might never want to, or have a chance to check out. That's one of my favorites. Let's see, Sonoma Patient Group in Santa Rosa, 365 Recreational Cannabis. They all have some great specials going. And of course, Spark, and they're all over the North Bay, so you can find them everywhere. They all have some really great specials today. And some of them are all week. They have good specials. So
Mm,
if you can't get out there today, you can also check them out rest of the week.
awesome. So there are. I've heard there are weed tours that you can take
There
here
are.
in Sonoma County. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah.
Because you're the expert on all this stuff. That's why I wanted to have you on today. So tell us about what kind of opportunities are there to do some touring.
Yeah, there are, and they're just getting back up and started now. Just in the next couple weeks, some of them offer farm tours, which is very rare because most farms legally you can't tour them. They have to be
Mhm.
very secure. But
Right.
there's a few that have access because the farm's in the family, I guess, or something, and they have access to an overlook or a way to see it. One of those is Happy Traveler Weed Tours. You can find them on
Mm.
Instagram at Happy Traveler Tours, and they do. In fact, they're part of the giveaway that we're doing, and so the lucky winner will be able to go on a tour, and they have some other things they're throwing in as well with that tour. So they offer some great private and group tours. And then the other one is called the Sonoma County Experience. If you go to thesonomacountyexperience.com, you'll see about their wine and wheat tours. They also have done a beer, local brewery and wine and
Mm.
wheat tour. They do some great tours, and I've been on a few of them. They're really fabulous. They even took us to San Francisco to do a tour of all of the great dispensaries, some of the great dispensaries and other places that are weed friendly. Or 420 friendly.
How fun. How fun. This is okay. I'm just so thrilled that we were able to get you on today
Yeah.
on 420. Thank you for celebrating your 420 with us for just a very short amount of time. Uh, very short amount of time. Uh, but
You're welcome.
thank you again. Anything else you want to leave us with before we sign off?
Have a fabulous 420. Just remember, if you are partaking in edibles, to keep your doses low to start, especially if you don't have a lot of experience with edibles. They can be potent, so try half first, and then wait a little while and see how it works.
Yeah.
You
And
really do have to pay attention to that dosage on there because it's like, it says, dosage is half of one of these, not the whole thing.
Right. And some of them are tasty, and you want to
yeah,
eat them all,
Yes.
but don't.
yeah. And Nancy, if people would like to get in contact with you, talk about events or talk about speaking at events, what's the best way to do that?
Well, they can always find me listed in the under the masthead at sensymag.com/NorCal. Go to the latest issue. Our anniversary issue, by the way, the April edition, is the biggest one we've ever done. It's over 200 pages. It's
Oh, wow.
amazing.
Wow.
Celebrating our 5 years of Sensi Magazine. Go check it out. Nancy.Birnbaum at sensymag.com is my email. But you can also find that in the masthead. So I hope you enjoy reading the magazine. It's an amazing edition. We love it.
Awesome. I'm so glad. Well, congratulations to you, and hopefully we'll get to see you in person very soon.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks a
Appreciate
lot,
it. Thanks,
Nancy.
guys.
Well,
Well,
that's a wrap for our 420. That was pretty fun.
yeah, it was a good show. Exciting, a little something different, a little different
Yes,
education today. So, but I think it was on point with
absolutely.
the day.
I think so. I think so. And we'll be back next Tuesday, 4 o'clock. We have another special guest. Ryan, who's going to be with us?
We do. We have Steve Napolitan, who is a keynote speaker who's had to redefine his business and what he's doing because of 2020. So looking forward to talking about him and some of the changes, shifts, pivots, all those fun words that we like to throw around that he had to go through in order to continue to thrive in 2020 and into 2021.
Yes, can't wait for that. It's next week.
Next
You
week,
guys have a
4
good one.
o'clock, same place. Take care.
Mhm.